Chapter 84. Opening up. After playing pool, they went drinking, not returning until the early hours of the morning. Want to come to my place? As the car entered the residential area, Wesley glanced at the person in the passenger seat. Ava understood what Wesley meant. She cupped her face in her hands, elbows resting on her legs, smiling. You didn't touch a drop tonight. What exactly are you planning to drive? Tonight, Wesley had been like an impenetrable fortress. Not a single drop of alcohol had his friends managed to pour down his throat. So, this was what he'd been waiting for. Wesley coughed and then smiled. Bumper cars. His voice was soft, low, and magnetic, like it had a hook on it, making Ava's heart itch. The moment the car stopped, she unfastened her seatbelt and leaned over, slipping between Wesley's arms. How do we bump? Teach me. The streetlight cast shadows through the trees, the mottled light making Ava's face flicker between light and shadow. She stared at Wesley with pure, innocent eyes. Her fingers opened his jacket and drew circles on his chest. Her words were full of seduction. Wesley unfastened his seatbelt while kissing her. These past days, whenever they embraced or kissed, he was always like an impulsive teenager. Those reactions were too intense. He'd prepared for today for quite a while, afraid of accidents like last time at his house. In the car, living room, bedroom, everywhere he might go, he'd prepared protection. However, Wesley opened the passenger door and bent down to lift her out. The first time in a car isn't quite appropriate. He kissed Ava's lips. Ava wrapped her arms around Wesley's neck, thinking he was impossibly romantic. She'd seduced him like that, and he still got out of the car to carry her into the villa. Ava didn't have much of a concept about first times. Her first man had been Adrian, but it hadn't created much of a ripple in her heart either. To her, this was no different from kissing or embracing, following her heart. But Wesley placing such importance on their first time together gave her a slightly different feeling. The moment the door closed, Wesley's kisses surged over her again. From the first floor to the master bedroom on the second, he kept kissing her. Shower! Wesley carried her into the bathroom, helping her undress while saying, Not cleaning up properly isn't good for you? Ava swung her legs, smiling. Seems like you have plenty of experience, Professor Hale. In study abroad circles, most people's relationships were somewhat ambiguous. Even without girlfriends, there were always people to sleep with. Some even had girlfriends back home while maintaining regular friends with benefits abroad. Someone like Wesley, popular and good-looking, would never lack for female attention. Honestly, Ava didn't care. Though she'd never had casual partners, she'd always been open-minded about such things. As long as Wesley hadn't slept with Grace before, she'd always valued the present and future. She'd always been confident in her charm. No man who dated her would ever settle for less by cheating. I haven't. Wesley swept her hair behind her head, his voice lazy. I'll need Professor Ava to teach me a lot from now on. I'm a very quick learner. He emphasized the word quick. Soon, Ava experienced the true meaning of that word. It had been nearly half a year since she'd had any practice. Ava really couldn't handle it. She could only say God loved her too much. All her past boyfriends had been so well endowed, leaving her overwhelmed. Their relationship progressed by leaps and bounds after that day. During the spring festival, Wesley came to her house. Her parents were very satisfied with Wesley, especially her father. Philip, who normally barely acknowledged her, uncharacteristically patted her shoulder with a gentle smile. More accurately, a creepy smile. Uncle, Aunt, my mom just messaged saying dinner's ready at home and asking me to bring Ava over. On the sofa, Wesley and Ava sat on one side, Philip and Monica on the other, while Grace sat on a single sofa to the side. Her gaze fell on Ava and Wesley's clasped hands. Ava was still the same as when she dated Adrian. Holding hands, leaning against him, very intimate. Such simple actions, yet she couldn't bring herself to do them. Go ahead then. Philip smiled. Ava stood up, linking arms with Wesley, casting a meaningful glance at Grace. She'd heard the Pierce family had some issues again. Presumably, Adrian couldn't possibly come to her house today. Grace's unhappiness on a day like this clearly doubled Ava's happiness. In a very good mood, she leaned on Wesley's shoulder. In the 4 months they'd been together, she'd been trying to let go and stop focusing on Grace. But it was difficult. Ava, have you reconciled with your parents? Wesley suddenly asked as he fastened her seatbelt. Ava's eyelashes fluttered. For a moment, she didn't know how to answer. During dinner at her house today, the atmosphere had been harmonious. Anyone watching would think they were a very warm family. But only she knew the hypocrisy beneath the surface. Her parents wanted to make a good impression on Wesley. After all, he was their chosen golden son-in-law. As for her, she was habitually playing the role of an obedient, understanding daughter. During their time together, she'd eaten at the Hale house many times. Meals at the Hale house were always harmonious. Even someone as busy as Maxwell made it home for dinner every day. The Hale family atmosphere was wonderful. She loved it, but occasionally felt a bit out of place. Ava, if you have troubles, you can talk about them. We said we wouldn't hide things from each other. Remember? Wesley rubbed Ava's cold cheeks. His eyes were too sincere, too gentle. For a moment, Ava couldn't hold back. I won't reconcile with them. This was the first time she'd revealed her feelings about her parents to anyone. Because they're biased? Wesley's eyes showed heartache. He didn't like seeing her dislike something yet pretend to like it. Ava, if you don't want to do something, you don't have to force yourself. Wesley hugged Ava. Ava leaned on his shoulder, her voice calm as she spoke. My parents have never really liked me. She told him everything. The reason her mother married her father, the years of favoritism. As she spoke, tears unconsciously fell. They all landed on Wesley's jacket. Sometimes I wonder if the world would be better if I'd never been born. Every time I got sick growing up, Mom was never by my side. Dad even less so. He almost never talked to me. The person he loved was Grace's mother. The daughter he liked was only Grace. He doesn't love me because he has a daughter. But why doesn't Mom love me either? Aren't I her only daughter? This question had circled in Ava's mind for many years. When she was little, Mrs. Quinn would always comfort her, saying stepmothers had it hard, that her mother was just avoiding gossip, that her mother still loved her in her heart. As a child, she'd believed it. Until that fire.